Well, hello and
Hi.
welcome to the DC UK podcast. I'll turn that music off in the background. This is season 4, episode 14. And as always, I'm your host, James Graham. You'll see alongside me, we're still waiting for the other host. He's having some technical issues, let's put it that way. But as you'll see, alongside me over here is Daniel Wise. Welcome back. It's been too long.
It's been a little time away, but I'm back and I'm excited. I think for the most part, I've always known what the season was gonna be,
Oh,
and
no.
nothing compares to 2013. I was reading a Reddit thread today where a lot of people are like, "Ah, this is an all-time low, blah, blah, whatever." But
Yeah.
no, those Pahoy days and the terror of that year are I don't know. It's a far cry. Here's the thing. I would say if a watchability scale had been done that season, we'd be
Yeah.
below
We would be
Nashville.
bottom. We would be.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's speaking of the bottom. Here he comes in from the bottom. Here he is. Tom has joined us. We can hear him loud and clear, unfortunately.
Might want
was,
to pump that up a little bit.
Just get a bit close. Get a bit closer. Shout a little bit louder.
God.
We don't ask for much, do we?
Why do I still do this?
Because you love the abuse.
I do love the abuse. It's my my humbling moment of the week.
How are you doing, Tom, anyway?
I'm good. I shaved my beard off, and that's about it.
I mean, you look a bit younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've taken maybe it's like 6 months off.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take all the help I can get.
Yeah. Well, so what made you shave the beard off? Did your parents ask you to do it, or?
I think you remember the DC Heat.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, fair point.
After a while, I was like, I feel horrible. So yeah,
Tell you what though, when we were all together, was it the start of this month, or was it the end of May?
That was May.
It was May. Yeah.
So
I feel it's too long ago. But yeah, that heat wave that we had, I didn't feel it was like overbearing. And then we had a heat wave not so long ago over here. It was like 28, 29, 30 degrees Celsius. It felt much worse.
That's still pretty decent.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, for us, it was really hot, but it was just...
That's just about like touching 90, isn't it? At least Fahrenheit wise. If I'm
88, 90, I think it is.
Yeah.
Roughly. So yeah, it's pretty warm.
Yeah.
It was the thick humidity. It was so muggy. We were waiting for that thunderstorm that we got eventually, and then it just suddenly just went clear. And it's a bit like what we've had the last few days. We've had a heat wave. Apparently, we've had a thunderstorm. Not seen or heard anything, but it's cleared the air a bit, so it's not too bad now.
Nice.
But anyway, so it just feels like it's been too long, and we need to quickly talk about last month and how awesome was it being together. As you can see in the background there, that photo is just it was superb. I enjoyed every single minute of that show and that day and that whole trip. It was fantastic. And look at that, Tom's got his DC UK glass out.
It was super cool. Seeing Dave Johnson come out. Would have loved to have him on the show, but I think getting a short chance to say hi and let him know how much we just have appreciated him in so many ways, not just as an announcer, but just the way he gives back to the community, and it just is such a warm presence is super cool. But then cherry on top of that was D McT stopping by and
was wild.
gracing us. With
And Tom,
that's not. I can't make that stick. That's.
you gave up your seat for him.
Sorry.
You gave up your seat for good old.
Yeah. Oh my God! If it was just you, you should have given up your seat for him. It was so cool to hear from him. Now every time his name comes up, I just think like he had a trial in Belgium.
Yeah.
Like such a random fact, and I'm just like, oh, that was so cool. Like one of those interviews where you just learn something you would never guessed.
No, I don't think you would have been able to dig that up anywhere. I don't think anybody knew about that trial apart from obviously the club that had him on trial and him.
Yeah.
But that gives us a nice little link into later on the show with our Belgian links because we've had quite a few recently. So we'll talk about those in a bit because we've got those in the news, which I don't know whether you've heard back the episode from last week, but we have a news theme tune as well now. So I'll crack that one out in a little short while. But first up, we've got to go through guess that player, guess DC who.
Let's do it.
We're back on it. So let's bring him up on screen.
Nonstop.
Oh, I mean, last week some people got it quite straight away, and it was good to hear that people got Karanta. I've been wanting to use him for a little while. He was one of my early favorite DC players.
Nice.
Mainly because of his name.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he was actually a really decent player. But here we go. So this guy, he's only 34 years old. So he's a young spring chicken in normal ages. He actually started his career back in 2006. And he did retire back at the start of 2018 due to injury. So he didn't actually get to play at Audi Field. He started his career off, professional career anyway, at Cleveland Internationals before moving to DC United through the Super Draft. He was the 31st pick in the Super Draft of 2011. 2011? Yes, it was 2011, just looking at that there. He is a defender. Played at left back, I will give you that. And he was born in Ohio.
Okay.
I think I got it.
Yeah?
I think so too.
Oh, could this be a first?
God, or was he a midfielder or no? I want to say he was left.
Oh, Daniel's doubting himself.
Can I throw it out? Because we haven't had him yet.
Okay. Do you want to throw out some initials?
What? I know I've guessed him before, I think.
Okay.
Is it Kemp?
It isn't.
Okay, never mind.
So it's definitely not Taylor Kemp.
Okay.
Does his last name start with an F?
No.
Oh,
Who are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of someone completely different. I don't know if it made him retire.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
This is not him. Can I just throw it out?
Yeah, go for it.
It's what's his name? Fisher?
O'Neal Fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still playing.
Damn.
Oh, where's he at these days?
Yeah, I just remember him having a horrific, long-term injuries.
Yeah, he had a crucial, but he was a right back primarily.
Okay, yep.
He could play left back, but he did play at right back as a main thing. Where is O'Neal Fisher? I think I remember following him on Twitter and Instagram, and I think his Twitter got hacked because all he kept doing was selling PS5s and Xbox Series X's and things. I was like,
jeez.
I think someone's overtaking your account.
He was my favorite player to watch when he was healthy on that team.
He had a lot of flair.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch.
He's currently at Minnesota United.
Wow.
Okay.
He signed he started the season. He's played 7 times for them, and he was at Galaxy last season. So there you go. But it's not O'Neal Fisher. Right. So let's move away from that then. If you've got any thoughts out there, I don't know why I just had a little stop there, but if you've got any thoughts out there in the chat, I know we've got a few people watching at the moment, let us know. And if you've got any questions, hit us up. We've had a couple of questions sent in, and we will go through those at the end of the show. So the time has come to play our news theme. I love it.
They are going
So
to
dramatic.
get in trouble. Is that the BBC one?
No, that's not. That's something that's part of my where I get all my music from, which is all legit.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was like, we are definitely going to get in trouble for that one.
I was just like, I've got to do something newsworthy, and I was like, yeah, come on, that's it, job done.
Good.
So, in terms of news, then we've got a few bits that we need to go through. First up, it came out last week, and it was announced last week, but I did talk about it on the episode. But I wanted to talk to you guys about it, which is first up on the agenda is the MLS by Apple new streaming deal. 10 years, $2.5 billion. Everything moves to streaming on Apple TV worldwide. There's no blackouts. What do we make of it?
Yeah, good. Happy. I mean, if Dave Johnson isn't involved, I'm going to be real sad.
Yeah, and I think the likelihood of him being involved in as we know it today it's not going to happen that way, which is a massive shame. I'd love to see him be part of the radio broadcast.
I would literally watch the game and have it on mute and just play the radio.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some syncing issues because you'll probably hear it's in the net, and then about a minute later, then you'll see it actually happen on TV.
Well, maybe I'll just, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But he's so integral for watching DC United games to me. I mean, every time I watch it and it's like on ESPN, I'm like, it's not the same.
No, It really isn't. It will suck badly, but it means no more VPNing.
Yeah, no more VPNing. I'll be able to watch it, not on just my laptop. I can actually throw it on the TV. So, I mean, it's good, but it's also a little sad, mainly for the Dave part.
Yeah. Daniel, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, very much with you on that one. I mean, Dave's an institution. I don't get to enjoy him quite as much because I typically get stuck with the away broadcast or, sort of like on a lot of those away games, it's always whatever home broadcast. So it's like kind of split 50-50 between getting Devin McTavish and Dave Johnson or whoever else on the other side. But this I think is like the holy grail that Donnie G's been going after for 20 some odd years, trying to get some kind of deal that just brings MLS a major like money, but also just a major broadcasting deal. Seems as though the MLB deal has been working out, and then if this works out for MLS as well, I think that can only help the sport. I'm excited for it. They do a really good broadcast, so see how it goes.
Yeah, we have come very far from Flow Sports.
Oh, yes. Why did you bring that name up?
Because
that's you
look at the whole journey.
Yeah, it's true. You got to.
Well, and here's the thing: when the good times come, and they will come, you can't appreciate them unless you remember the bad times.
Yeah,
the Flow Sports times, the Pahoy times. This is it's what makes it sweet.
Yeah, it's true. I'm looking forward to the fact that that this has got the potential to bring a whole new audience to not just the league, but to obviously ourselves as well, which is what this whole thing that I've been doing is all about, bringing the club to a new audience and creating new fans for the club. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be absolutely sweet just to be able to go, yeah, just get on Apple TV. That's it. Don't have to worry about VPN, but you should always use a VPN because it's a good thing to have just in case you want to do anything else like Netflix and all that jazz. But and there is a link in the description if you want to get some months free with ExpressVPN. I do earn a little bit of money if you use that link. But Heather there, she's on the same wavelength as all of us, but then she wants to hear Dave when she's at Audi Field, so which is fair. I mean, I don't know whether we do it whether it happens over in the States or not, but I know some sports over here, especially the cricket, because it's a long old day and you need something to get you through a test match. But they provide earpieces where you can hear the commentary as the game's happening, which I think is pretty cool because they'll end up focusing on someone in the crowd with the earpiece on and start just randomly talking about this person without actually identifying them. The person realizes, and everyone has a good laugh. So, So next
there's
up,
a very American side. You kind of remind me of it with like NASCAR races and I think IndyCar. But you see a lot of people in the crowd that will have big old headsets on, and that kind of gives them, they can listen in on commentary, but they can also listen in on team principals or managers and hear, so the drivers and the managers and all that.
Yeah,
I would love it if there was like a bench mic or something, or you could tune in to Dave and
ref
all
mic
that.
would be great because they do that. They do that in the rugby
for ages.
They do that in the rugby over here. So at Twickenham, which is the home of rugby, you can actually listen to. If you don't even have to have one of the dedicated earpieces that you get at most grounds, you just download the app on your phone.
Yeah, there's a great video where they tried it out in I think the Australian League, and it's such a good video, and it makes so much sense. And it's like, why aren't they doing this everywhere?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's great when you're watching the rugby, whether it's you've got the app and you're listening through on your headphones, or you're watching the rugby on the TV. They're all mic'd up, so you can actually listen in what's happening. You know how they've come to the decisions, and it just makes a lot more sense. And there's less animosity towards the officials. But I think what's probably the matter is the refs are probably a bit too scared.
Yeah.
I would imagine they'd get football fans can be quite abusive.
Yes, they can.
I think beside that, I think you take that a step further and you go with a VAR mic.
Oh my god!
So you hear the VAR room, and oh man, that would be rad.
Have you seen so the pro refs, they do a weekly video on YouTube where they go through all the decisions, and actually you hear the VAR room and you hear the refs and their conversations. Guarantee, go and watch it because it really enlightens you to how they come to the decisions. And you're like, well, actually, when you watch it live, you're thinking, what's happening? You've done it. Why did Nima Sagafi have his finger in his ear for so long? I thought he got it stuck in there or whatever. But there's probably a ton of conversations going on. And because we just don't hear it, we get frustrated, and we then take it out on the ref. And so bring that in. I've just seen something's come through on the ELD chat. Jarrett's here we go, talking about the ALeague. Jarrett Gillett, or Gillet, or however you want to pronounce it, was the Australian ref mic'd up. He's in England now. Oh, right, okay. There you go.
I think the issue with doing it in England is that the way that players treat the refs, I mean, they throw F-bombs at them and everything, and picking that up on TV would not be great.
No. Yeah. There would need to be some delay so the broadcast can beep those out.
Yeah, I mean, I always love when the commentators are like, "Sorry for the fruity language that you may have just overheard."
Especially with
A
Chad
referee's
Aston. Wasn't it Chad that threw out like a very audible F-bomb in one of the, I think it was like his first match as
Fired
head
up.
coach. I want to say that was definitely picked up.
Oh yeah, I mean Ben was throwing them left, right, and centre at the MLS's back tournament, and the fact there was no fans. I mean, you could hear literally all the players just f bombing, and I think Bill did a few as well. So cool. Moving on to news that came out today.
Yeah.
The MLS AllStar tournament is being hosted in DC next year. Woohoo! Are we excited?
Yeah, go try to get tickets.
Depends on how long that stays true, because DC was very sure about getting a World Cup spot, and when they did the announcement, all of the officials who were part of the World Cup announcement were also present at this MLS AllStar announcement. So who knows how that's going to turn out? I don't know.
So we decided to do it in Nevada.
Oh dear. July 19th though is the date that's been penciled in for this. From what I've seen, there's going to be stuff that's going to be apparently Audi Field is a short walk from the National Mall.
No.
Yeah, no.
It's not.
That's classic. When a shooting happens, they say it's mere blocks from the White House.
Yeah.
It happened in Arlington or something like that. Oh man.
Yeah. I've got the press release up on my screen here. So Don Garber, he says, "We are thrilled to bring the MLS All-Star Game and festivities back to Washington, D.C., a city with a rich soccer history, as well as a diverse and vibrant soccer culture." I couldn't agree more. DC United and the community have always held a special place in the heart of everyone who believed in the power and growth of soccer in the US, and Audi Field will provide an incredible backdrop for next summer's game. I mean, it will provide a nice backdrop because you've got all the buildings in the background.
Right, and to be honest, like, yeah, in just the short amount of time that I've been gone from the district, going back down to Buzzard Point and seeing just how much that has exploded in that short time, I'm sure it's going to be even more so by the time next year rolls around. So, yeah, it's wild, dude. Like, man, DC was something when I was there, and then just coming back and just seeing how everything really just grew so much more is jarring. But yeah, that's incredible.
It is awesome. Tom, so you said you're going to try and get tickets then?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun game. I hope they still do. What did they do? They do like the sort of like the skill games sort of deal.
Skill games, that's happening.
Love those. Like, I know it's not much, but I love those. But yeah, it'll be fun to go to. I don't. If they're saying it's a like walking distance to the mall.
I mean, technically, I mean, Heather's just said it's not more than a mile. Well, I've just gone onto Google Maps and I've had a look. It's 1.4 miles, so it's a half an hour walk. And in July heat,
yeah,
you know what I'm going to do. And to be fair, that's from the Capitol side, Capitol Hill. So if you were down on the other side by the Lincoln Memorial, well, it's going to be a damn sight further. No, I don't want to walk from my location right now. Nobody wants to do that.
I would say, though, if anything, that 4 miles feels like 10 walking in DC. I don't know. I don't know. DC always just feels deceptively huge to me. Just, I don't know. That just sounds exhausting. Yes, like 4 miles is probably not that much in the grand scope of things. I'm a big guy. I don't walk very far all the time. So
especially in July.
Yes,
in July. it will be horrendous.
Yeah.
I've just looked at it from, if you were going from the Lincoln Memorial side, and it's an hour walk.
Nope.
Jeez.
No, thank you.
Nah.
I would
good.
just get on the scooters.
Yeah.
That's what I did after
Just
the game. You guys went too. I literally just like after the game ended, I just jumped on a scooter, just rolled all the way back.
I wouldn't trust myself with one of them if it was after the game and I've had a few beers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I'm a big guy, and it's a long way down for me to fall.
That's a good point. They'll be like, "Who is that giraffe riding that scooter?"
It's not. I'm not a giraffe. I'm Bambi on ice. That's what would it be like. So we've obviously got the skill games. This particular match is going to be the first one that's going to be broadcast on Apple TV as well. So again, this is going to be one that's going to be available worldwide, which would be cool because we generally don't tend to get that over here. So intrigued to see how that's going to go, and I'm really excited to actually watch it for once. So we've got that. Other bits of news. This caption was updated this morning before the actual official news came out. So the transfer of Edison Flores to Atlas is all done now. That has been completed. That was announced like moments before we went live on the show. The actual release on that one is DC United have agreed terms with Atlas for the permanent transfer of DP Edison Flores. Lucy's made a little statement saying that the club would like to thank Edison for the 3 seasons he spent in the Black and Red. We wish him all the best in Mexico at Atlas. There's been no announcement of how much that transfer has been worth. So I reckon that's going to be an undisclosed fee, but the rumors were it was like $500,000.
Yeah.
I would have taken it for it.
Which, to be fair, I think his contract was due at the end of this season. So the fact that we've managed to actually get a transfer fee for him.
Yeah, I
good work.
Would have taken anything because it was just depressing to watch. You know, it's like this is one of our designated players, and like that game where Hopkins starts over him, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
I mean, he needs somewhere new. He is our Tony Martial. Just needs a different club to play for.
What? He's a great player.
Who?
Any of them, really. Flores, Martial. They're great.
But it's not working at the current club they're at. That's why they need a new change of scene.
Yeah.
Our problem is no one wants to pay him $250,000 a week.
No.
Sorry, small tangent. But I think he just needs a new place to go, and all the best for him.
I mean, he's got the talent clearly because he does well on the international stage.
Yeah.
There's no denying that he's brilliant at international football, but when it came to regular old club football, he just couldn't do it. He just looked a bit lost. Is probably the best way I could explain it and describe it.
Yeah, it was kind of like everyone was told the tactics except him.
Yeah,
that's how it worked.
Yeah, I think everyone went, give the ball to Eddie, he'll know what to do. And nobody told him what to do. So, cool. Moving on to more transfer news. Griffin Yow's deal to Westerlo in Belgium, after we were talking about Belgian links earlier on, is almost complete. That's due to be completed tomorrow, which is Friday as of recording. Or if you're listening on Saturday, it's probably already been announced. So that looks like it's a permanent transfer as well. So Griffin Yow will be heading in the same direction as what Chris Durkin did. Hopefully he'll come back and be a better player for it as well, if that ever materialises. But I just want to wish Griffin all the best in Belgium if that is the case.
I wish he was alone.
Kind of same thing with the Kevin Paredes situation. It's they're young kids and they're clearly talented, and so getting that kind of exposure over in Europe is only going to help them. Yao wasn't getting a ton of minutes this year, and everyone was very much riding his potential. But I think everyone's also clamoring for DC to rebuild or start making moves in the market. Well, in that case, you have to make these kinds of deals. You have to send your wonder kids off, try to get the most out of that, and just build use that to build experience. So yeah, it'd be nice, if down the line he returns, but I don't know. I hope his career flourishes and he kind of I hope everyone who plays for DC United moves on, that they continue on and continue flying. So it's just cool seeing them grow.
Yeah, definitely. We've got more transfer news. Can you believe it? It's all happening in this last sort of week.
Yeah.
Altay, Turkish club, have announced the transfer of Martin Rodriguez to DC United. We've not done that.
I'm pumped. I've been watching YouTube clips of him for like a week in all this anticipation. Also, I really like him because the club he was at before he went over to Turkey was Colo Colo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I love that team. I just think it's perfect. So I'm really excited, and his finishing is really precise. He's very good at pinpointing where he's putting the ball. And I think we kind of need that.
We need someone who can hit the target.
Yeah, exactly. God. So I'm so excited. I mean, when he's in July?
It'll be July 7th is when the window opens. So he'll be, as long as apparently the visa's already gone through.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I know. So that shows you how long this transfer has been in the works for, if that's already gone through. And he should be available for the game against Austin on July 8th.
Brilliant. Love it.
So, fingers crossed on that one. So there's that.
I've low-key held the Chilean Premier Division in really high regard, and so I don't know. I have a soft spot for Chilean players. I'm excited about it.
I always remember. I mean, the only reason why I kind of know about Colo Colo is back in the day, there's a player on Football Manager called Nicholas Milan. He was like a 14, 15-year-old, similar sort of era as Freddie Adu, and he came around and he became one of the best players on the game. And he signed him from Colo Colo, and he was just like, it was like a free signing. It was just straight approach to sign, job done, and that was it. Your team was just stacked for years from there, and that's how I know Colo Colo.
Him, and then who was the guy who was also really good, and it turned out it was a player who actually didn't exist. It was a guy who worked or who was a scout for Football Manager, and he programmed himself into the game. They
do that quite regularly. They actually code themselves as new gens. But there was one player who it's like a rumor, it's like a myth and a legend about Maxim Shigalko. Let me just, I've got to bring him up on ye old Google. There we go. Put Maxim and TS in, and then that's it. He's straight away there. On his Wikipedia page, he is a real player. I don't know how much I actually believe this, but there's rumors that he's dead.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep. Ended his pro career early at the age of 26 in 2010 due to persistent injuries, and apparently he died on Christmas Day 2020.
Oh, that's a bummer. Jeez.
He also had a twin brother called Yuri who played as a goalkeeper for Dynamo Minsk.
Interesting.
So
someone's got to do one of those story podcasts about that.
There's
Pablo Maurer has to dig into that and get the history of that guy. If anyone can do it, it's Pablo.
I mean, here we go. Where are they now? Oh, here we go. Football Manager Wonder Kids. Let's just go on this little tangent for a short while. See how many of these guys you know. Chono Samba.
Nope.
Nope. He used to play for. He signed for Millwall, and he was tipped to go on to big things. He was tipped to win a World Cup with England, of course, because everyone's tipped to win a World Cup with England at some point in their lives.
Yep.
One day we will do it. Maybe we'll do it this year when we knock USA out of the group stages.
Absolutely not.
We're definitely,
No chance.
We're definitely that team that's like, this year is our year. This year is our year, and then it falls apart. But dude, this year
is our year. I mean, after the Nations League, it's confidence has certainly gone down a peg.
Is Kurt Zuma on that list? Because I know he was talked very highly as like.
He was. But Cherno Samba, his career did not take off in any way, shape, or form. And he became like a Championship Manager, Football Manager legend because of that. And he actually appeared on one of the Football Manager adverts as a pub quiz answer. This is brilliant. Love that. Right, why? No, I don't want to enter my details. I want to just... Why have you done that? Oh, come on. It's just kicked me out of the website. So I need to sign up for it. Thanks, mate.
Oh, boy.
Cheers for that. Let me try and reload that again. There we go. Escape. Freddie Adu. We all know Freddie.
Classic.
Yeah.
Curlon.
No.
He invented a new dribble called the seal dribble, which is basically you run and just bounce it off your head. And he used to get fouled a lot and kicked in the chest to take him down. That was the only way you could stop him. It was brilliant. This one's for Emma, who's in Belgium. Anthony van den Boer. He used to play for Anderlecht. He played alongside Vincent Kompany, and I remember back in the day signing them both because you could get them on the cheap. And they were brilliant, brilliant players. Henry Saivet. Probably pronounce it. He actually moved. He was again one of these good winter kids, but eventually actually made appearances for Newcastle United, which is not that good really when I think about it. Carlos Vela.
Hey,
he's doing well now.
He's in the MLS
Arsenal man.
Kumar Babakar.
Nope.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yep. Fiorentina is... it's just kicked me out of the website again. I'm going to leave it there. But there's plenty of wonder kids out there who've not gone on to do many things. Right, anyway, moving on. We could talk about that all day. Other bits, I wanted to give Sarah Kalassi a shout out for her article that she did with Fred Briant. Good interview about his movement to DC United coaching and where he's come from and the process behind his coaching badges and everything. So if you haven't already, go and check that out. And then lastly, John Kempen's back.
What's next?
Well, for one thing, like it was very comical, even when the deal was announced for his loan spell, because it was around the time that we had our show in DC, and then we're looking at the date. It's like, that can't be right. Is that right? Literally, he's gone for a month and he's back, and they've brought him back about a week sooner than he was supposed to.
So he went on vacation.
He literally had a holiday.
He went to San Diego,
but he did produce a clean sheet for the loyal. So hey, I know we give him a lot of guff.
We'll slowly get more watcher.
I have a soft spot for Kempen. I've developed a warm place in my heart for him. I'm glad he's back. I'm ready for the blonde bombshell to come in between the sticks and do the job.
Would you take him at Arsenal?
What?
Would you take him at Arsenal?
Absolutely not. But that's a totally different situation right there.
You've got another American on your books now.
True.
That's true.
Yeah.
And good old Matt Turner. I think he'll hopefully do well for you guys. But that's the end of the news.
He showed
oh,
out, for New England last year. So yeah, no, I'm excited to see how that turns.
Has Leno left?
I want to say yes. I believe so.
Because if he hasn't, I mean,
that's a weird transfer. No, he's still there.
Oh, is he? Well, okay then. Leno has I don't know. He is a heart attack any given match day. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's competition for him, and so if Turner comes in and steps up, that would be cool to see him.
I genuinely don't think Leno will be there by the end of the transfer window because last season he only made 4 appearances.
Oh, did he?
It was Aaron Ramsdale who was making all the appearances. So
yep.
Yeah, definitely be surprised if he's still there at the end of the transfer.
Didn't play any Europe games.
Yep.
They wanted to win a cup, so they didn't. They wanted to win FA or league, so it was like, well, we're going to play our best guy.
Yeah.
We're not risking that one.
No.
Yeah. So I imagine, he's out.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, something's.
Oh, that's my roommate.
Ah, fair.
He's not here, but
let's just say
he is Peruvian.
Ah.
So he's been stuck with this Edison Flores drama of
oh no,
on the national team, like not great for DC United. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how he does down in Mexico. Whether he'll I just hope he doesn't do the same thing as Lucho and then come back in MLS and then actually do really, really well.
Yeah, that would hurt. But Lucho had revenge in his heart.
Oh, massive revenge. Yeah.
He had to own a big.
Yeah. He still does.
Yeah.
So
well, and I mean, on top of that, he got embroiled in a really bad scandal down in Mexico. So yeah, I imagine he's had not just chips, but entire bricks on his shoulders. So no, but good to see him playing well. Again, I always love seeing former DC United players do well wherever they go.
Just not when they play us.
Exactly.
No. Right. That's the end of the news. So I'm going to roll the VT. That's the end of the news. Oh, I love
I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This is going to be the first time I'm hearing about this match because that literally happened during my wedding.
Of what, the Chicago game?
I
will drift into the back.
You're just going to sit back. You relax.
Oh, this is going to be a really depressing part. We were out of our limit.
Yeah. So
it was bad.
Yeah. I'm going to have to run through the stats like I always do. I hate it. So we got beat 1-0. Possession, 53.1 to 46.9. Shots, 14 to 11.
11 shots.
We had 11 shots. Shots on target, 7 to 0. Not a single one on target. Offsides, 2 to 1. Fouls, 17 to 16. Expected goals, 1.3
Jesus.
to 0.9. We didn't beat them in any single stat there.
No, it was a terrible game. We played terrible, and I don't want to talk about it.
And on top of the fact that, like, Chicago was flaming up until that point.
They had no wins for 3 months.
Yeah.
And they come up against us, and it's like, yeah, we'll roll over. We'll just tickle our tummies. We'll let you have the win. It's fine.
Yeah, that game hurt a lot.
It hurt so much. The first half was dire.
Yeah,
it was horrendous. Nima Sagafi was just blown left, right, and centre. So there was a lot of stoppages. There was no flow to the game, so that didn't help. But there was poor quality from both sides.
Referee was bad.
The referee was. It wasn't so bad in the second half,
But
I think it's slightly improved, but it was still really bad.
There were so many VAR opportunities that he
Yeah.
just decided to not go look at. And it's just
it was the foul on Nahar.
Yeah, that was a red.
It was a pure straight red.
It's a red.
I mean, I was expecting at least a yellow, then there was nothing.
Yeah, it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, it was just it blew my mind. It blew my mind. And then the goal that we conceded, you could tell Romo was really hacked off about that. He knew he should have done better with that one. He just didn't react quickly enough. Came off the inside of the post. He then hit his head off the post and had to be checked over for concussion. But apart from that, he was my player of the match.
Yeah, I actually thought he was pretty good. I just thought like he was the only one that seemed to give a crap.
Yeah,
it's like they all it's like they looked at Chicago's record and were like, "Oh, easy."
Yeah,
and no footy game is easy.
No, you don't win. You don't win games on paper.
No. I mean, it was just like, what was the point? I think that's one of the few DC United games that I've actually shut off a bit early because I was like, this is bad. I think I shut it off at the 80th, and I was just like, I can't watch this. We're terrible.
Just a poor performance. I mean, what is even worse as well is the fact that we whipped in 22 crosses.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most I've seen us do for such a long time. Yet we still couldn't find a head to get it on target. We had multiple chances from set pieces, which surprised me because we don't generally get a lot on attacking set pieces in recent times. But Birnbaum had a few chances. Taxi had a header late on in the game, which he really should have got that on target. And it was just...
Yeah, he was frustrated.
Yeah. I mean, he was doing as much as he could. He kept getting clipped on the ankles. I still think he rolls around a bit too much for my liking. He plays.
I knew what we were getting.
But
I took one look at him. I was like, small dude, definitely going to roll.
Yeah. He's not as bad as Tati Castellanos.
No.
But yeah, it frustrated the hell out of me. And that game, staying up late to watch it as I always do, and then seeing that kind of performance, I don't mind us losing as long as we put the effort in.
Yeah,
as long as they show there was getting a few shots on target would have probably appeased me. Just 2 or 3.
Yeah, even if it's allowed the squad at this point. I mean, it was just like, let's put someone in who cares. It was just embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that they don't care because obviously they do care because that's what.
Yeah, but that's what the performance showed.
Yeah,
it showed like they didn't care.
Yeah, it was.
I was ticked.
And so this is me just kind of talking as sort of a referee apologist, but is it prime? What's the main factor? Was it truly an off day from DC United, or was it the fact that with so many fouls being called, they just weren't able to get into a rhythm, or was it just they just could not find it no matter what?
You play the game that comes out to you. So we had an off day. Absolutely. It shouldn't matter whether the ref is blowing an average of every 3 minutes. It shouldn't matter about that. You should be able to adapt and play that game. We should have done better, whether it was going a bit more direct or, just hitting the target to start off with. If you don't hit the target, you're never going to score.
Yeah, 11 shots. That's nuts.
Yeah. You'd expect at least 1 or 2 of those to go on target at the very minimum. To get none on target is just unacceptable. And I really hope in this last week, they've done is shooting practice.
Shooting drills nonstop.
Literally that. I mean, when we come on to preview the next game, there's another stat that's in there that is also a bit worrying, which goes on, which is at the other end. But this game it really hacks me off big time.
Let's put it in the past.
Yeah. So I need to throw up a ticker thing, which is for this weekend's game.
I thought you were going to say you need to throw up. I was like, oh, okay.
That's how much that game annoyed me.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh wow, like if you really didn't like the game.
No. So this weekend, we are up against Nashville at home. It is the right date, June 25th.
Going in that game.
You're going to it.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Is your dad going?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Why?
Yeah. Okay. Then that completely influences my
predictions
on this.
Yeah.
Why?
It's Father's Day gift.
That's the worst gift you could have given us.
Yeah.
I know.
Not just for us.
Supporters.
For him, that's a bad gift.
You are not
for
my
everyone.
father.
Thomas, I am
You
your
get
father.
nothing. Yeah. Well, sorry guys.
Ugh. Right.
Look,
anyway,
Tom, he may be your father, but we'll always be your daddy. So
you're Daniel's naughty boy.
Yeah, the naughty boys.
Oh God.
Little Guardians of the Galaxy reference there.
Yeah.
Oh, great films. Great films. Anyway, other notes for this game this weekend. So we are winless against Nashville in 3 games. We've lost 2, drawn 1.
Cool.
That's great. Chad has lost 4 of his 8 games so far this year, which is great. Conceding multiple occasions in 6 of those games. We've conceded an average of 2 per game. Only Chicago and Toronto have worse conceding records. It's a big thumbs up. They have got 2.3 and 2.1 goals per game, respectively. We've conceded goals from corners 8 times so far this year, and it really shows. However, Nashville have yet to score from one until this weekend.
I was going to say, so definitely it's going to be in the 88th minute, probably something, lose 1-0.
Moving on to the next one, which is CJ Sapong has never scored from outside the box.
Oh, okay, 2-0.
No, what happened is there'll be a corner whipped into the outside of the box. CJ Sapong stood outside the box and he calls in a screamer volley.
That would be sweet to see, but yeah, not be happy about that one.
No. Nashville are currently 6th in the Western Conference, but they have played 16 games so far, so they have played quite a few. I think there's only one team who've played more, which is Spartan Kansas. They've played 17 so far. Most teams have played 15. So they've got 2 DPs. One guy, Ake Anor Loba, who's a forward. I hope I pronounced that right. Probably not. And Hani Mukhtar, who I think we all know, who is an absolute magician on the ball, who's an incredibly dangerous player and someone we really need to watch out for this weekend. They've got no under-22 initiative players either, so just the 2 DPs. So the other bit that you guys saw that I put in our little chat earlier on today, which was ESPN's Watchability list.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's ranked out of 10 for each team. The likes of LAFC, Spartan Kansas, NYCFC are up at the top there. If I asked you where you'd put us on the watchability list without you guys have seen it, where would you have put us?
Top 4.
Probably around 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have put us near the bottom.
No. Wait, is this watchability like in person or on TV?
Well, it'll be on TV.
Okay, yeah, then you're right. I was thinking like actually going to the games.
No.
Like being at the games, like it's.
Being at the game, yeah, absolutely. It's a completely different level, but yeah.
I was like 15 to 20. I was like, oh my god, guys.
No.
Yeah. So
no, actually, just as a game.
Yeah. I think you guys got it spot on then.
But ESPN put us 9th,
which is insane.
And their reasoning primarily is the type of system, because even though Losada is gone, Ashton has mostly stayed with the high pressing nature of the system he put in. So that is what factors into their decision. There is, they give up a lot, but they also can potentially score a lot. Just kind of depends of whether because yes, their shooting has been very bad. If you kind of look at the paper this year, it's not been great. Now games where they do score multiple times, yeah, that's fantastic, but it's so streaky, and it's just last year you could have really said it. Yes, they were incredibly watchable last year, especially when Gola Kamara was really on his streak. They were fun to watch, but this year it's been a streak in a bad sense. So they just have not. I don't know. It's been tough to watch for sure.
Yeah, it really has. But according to ESPN, not as tough as Nashville, who are bottom. They are the least watchable team in MLS, apparently.
Real excited for the game now.
Yeah, until this weekend.
Yeah, and then they'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Prime Barca.
That happened last year. I mean, the way that DC, their makeup is sort of set right now is they're awful in transition. And the thing is with Mukhtar and CJ Sapong really able to kind of link up, I think that's sort of like the factor that plays against DC so much is Sapong just being an absolute threat. Even at his age, is incredible. So, yeah, that's something we're going to be very. We're going to have to be used to watching that this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough game. So that moves us on to some predictions for the weekend. Tom, your dad's going. We're all disappointed over here. You're going to be there. How do you see the game going?
We're going to lose 2-0. That's the first time I've predicted a loss.
I think that's the first time that this season that any one of us has predicted a loss.
Yeah, last week really hurt.
Yeah. So, and the 4-1, and then there was the 4-1 defeat against the Red Bulls as well. That really hurt.
Yeah.
Daniel?
3-0.
Loss, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say
every turnaround.
Really? No. 0-0.
Oh, you are so positive.
How is a 0-0 goalless draw positive?
The fact that we're going to get
that's where we're at.
Yeah.
I if I were generous, I would say it'd be like a 3-1, but
that's still so. Yeah. We couldn't even hit on target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to delete that from my memory.
Yeah. But the other thing I want to just quickly touch on before we move on to the rest of the show is about Bill Hamid. Obviously, he missed the game last week. Then it was out that he was ill, but then he put the Instagram post out, and Twitter, which was about him being sad and missing something, and it was just a bit cryptic a little bit, and it just didn't come across that he was ill.
Yeah, it kind of seems like he's not in a great place right now.
Yeah. I don't know what the heck happened, but it worried me a little bit. And if we look at the Goff, who tends to release the availability reports, Perez is out, Hamid's still out.
Yeah, I saw
that. Cu Di Pietro is out with an illness as well. Moses is now questionable.
Okay.
Finally, he's moved on into that bracket, and Chris Aduriacham is now in questionable as well. So Perez is still out with his foot injury, which is he ever going to recover from that?
That's a good point.
He's been out for a long time.
Completely forgot about him.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember when the last time he was when he last played for us.
Couldn't tell you.
No, really couldn't.
Well, I genuinely completely forgot we had him.
That's bad.
Yeah, he's been
That's
out
really bad. Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, so obviously that's the availability list for this weekend. So Daniel, you're not doing an MLS 101 this week, are you?
No,
Not this week.
It's been crazy having the wedding and then having to take a few days to sort of get the final touches going for the wedding itself, and then a couple of days to recover. And amidst that, I've been cramming about 5 days of 5 days of work within 3 days, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot. But I'm just here to let everyone know I'm still alive. And next show, I will be back with the segment.
Normal service will resume soon. Cool. So that moves us on to some questions. Now, one of them, it was asked previously, was for last week's show, but obviously I answered the question, but I wanted you guys to answer this particular one.
Cool.
Which is from Brian. So he asked, for club and country, what was the worst defeat you ever experienced as a supporter?
I know why you asked this too.
Oh yeah, I mean it's obviously related to the Nations League.
Yeah,
great timing. For club and country, club's easy. It's not DC 9-1. It's a Man United 1, and it was when we lost 4-0 to MK Dons.
What, the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, that was.
I remember watching that game. It was great.
That was one of the most embarrassing things I've seen.
Really, that one.
Yeah, that was a bad one. I mean, in terms that they absolutely played us off the park, and we were 4 leagues ahead of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
not getting absolutely demolished by Man City. That's not in there.
I mean, the Liverpool 5-0 hurt in terms of just like the rivalry. But, I mean, we're crap. So I was already at the point where I was just like, whatever. For England, the Euro final still hurts. Yeah.
Fair enough. For me, it was the Euro 96 semi-final.
Yeah, I was 2, so.
Yeah, I was 8. So I remembered it, and I remember crying my heart out at that one. I hated it. I hated Gareth Southgate that evening. So, Daniel, what's yours?
Okay, so I mean, for sure on the country level, that Trinidad and Tobago debacle in 2018 was, or 2017, whichever year that was just absolute nightmare scenario. And honestly, that entire hex was just one gigantic trash fire. Like it was because like we this team had been talked up so much. That was like the golden team made up of these young greats who were going to go forth and do great things. And like France, we imploded on our own ego, and that was just awful. On a club level, I don't know. It's the worst. What?
You ate to see it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about one of our favorites?
Oh dear.
But on the club level, like for sure, that 2012 playoff loss to Houston still sticks in my craw, and like just that's just being at that game. I think I genuinely like cried, like not in a sobbing way, but
Yeah.
I genuinely remember
Really
like
care.
being tearful at the end of that. Like it was that was tough, really
Yeah.
tough.
I mean,
And
for
it
me,
preceded just a nightmare season.
yeah. DC United wise, I remember staying up to watch the 2018 playoff game against Columbus Crew.
I was there.
Yeah.
I mean, I was up till like 3:30 in the morning just watching the penalty shootout and thinking,
Yeah.
this is it. We're gonna
Names
keep
we
going.
had
This
that-
run's gonna be amazing. We're gonna win it. And then Rooney misses his penalty, Costa misses his penalty, and I was like, I stayed up for that.
That was.
And then the Toronto extra time, that was also
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's one you
Depressing episode.
you thought it was wiped from your memory, and then you remember, and then it's just oof.
Yeah.
Few of those.
Anyway, should we move on to the next question?
Yep.
Which is King Jones 1 on Instagram. Who do you think will be a good manager candidate for DC United?
I would have to say that I don't think I know enough about MLS managers who are either employed or fired for me to accurately able to answer that. Poch is available. Don't think he's coming to DC.
You never know.
Don't think he's coming to DC. Actually, as Zidane came to DC, I would be like, "You're not coaching, you're playing." He's still probably very good. He just turned 50.
I've got a list of available football managers.
Oh, nice, good.
There we go.
So, in which order is this then? It's in no particular order. So at the top on the list is I know it's that's not even in that. What order did they put it in? Ernesto Valverde, who were previous club was Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
Kike Setien, Barcelona. We could have Ollie at the wheel.
Our funeral.
You can have your
Vibes, bro. Just go out there and have vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's not go with Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer. You could have the scratch and sniff Joachim Löw.
Nope.
You know what I mean by scratch and sniff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
It's the fact that he's been caught multiple times doing that as well.
He just doesn't care.
He
And then
really
he puts his
doesn't.
finger in his mouth, and I'm like,
Jesus.
I'm like, bro, what is going on?
Maybe he likes the smell of cheese.
I just, it's
The flavor saver.
Yeah, it's the fact that after the game he then goes and shakes everyone's hand, and I'm just like,
No.
this is why we have pandemics. Like, this is insane to me. I don't get it, bro. I just don't get it.
No. Zinedine Zidane's available.
I don't think that we're gonna get.
I don't think we could afford them.
Previously linked, before Ben Olsen became coach, Lucien Favre.
Okay.
Not super familiar with that one.
That was very close to him becoming head coach before Ben Olsen took over. So that would be quite a cool thing to have. I'm going to skip over him because he was at Atlanta and I don't like Atlanta.
It was that Heinz.
No. Frank de Boer.
Oh, yeah. Frank de Boer was the Mourinho rant.
Has somehow his points per match is 1.94.
No way. He went in the Prem and didn't win a single game.
I mean, granted, he only took over 4 games. He was there for 32 days.
Michael Carrick had 2 wins and a tie. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Who else we got on here that might be of decent level?
Chris Armas.
No. Anyway, moving on.
Get out of
Jurgen
here.
Klinsmann.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
I give him a lot of flack when he was U.S. coach.
The only thing I would say there is I think, like Lasada, eventually I think he would rub ownership the wrong way.
Yeah.
He's very demanding on multiple levels, and he is quite vocal about it too.
Yeah. Ooh. Fabio Cannavaro.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
His last club was Guangzhou in China.
Oh,
Money.
yeah, we definitely can't afford him then.
Yeah, he wants that money.
Jeez.
That's fine. MLS will pay for him. Philip Cocu. He was previously at Derby County before Wayne took over.
Oh yeah, he did a really good job.
I mean, I would love to get Wayne in. That would be amazing, but that's never going
That
to
would
happen.
be incredible.
I think Wayne is waiting for Frank to get fired.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
I literally
like
thought
that.
they were going to fire Frank this summer and just put Wayne in. I'm so sure of it.
A couple of big names, especially over here on this side of the pond. Martin O'Neill.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's approaching retirement. Well, he's 70 years old, so I can't imagine he'd be that much left in him. But Mark Warburton, who did rather well with Rangers. And he was previously at Queen's Park Rangers, not Glasgow Rangers. Bielsa, if you want to go down that road.
I don't want that. He has the strongest knees in the world.
I don't know how he manages to kneel for that long.
What my friends say, it's between he and Megan Thee Stallion for strongest knees in the world.
Oh dear. We're not going to go down that road. Filippo Inzaghi is another one. I mean, there's 10 pages of managers that are currently available.
Is Henry on that list? That's my completely selfish.
What, Thierry Henry?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd imagine he would be, but he's an awful manager.
Yeah, he has a pretty bad track record.
I know, but there's.
I mean, you say pretty bad. It's abysmal.
To be fair, as I usually will not be fair with Arsenal anything. Look at Patrick Vieira.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made Crystal Palace good.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Actually decent to watch.
But it's a World Cup year. Thierry Henry's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, Yap Stam.
Okay.
No, that was a joke.
Oh.
That was an actual. I wasn't being serious about that one.
I want it.
I mean, what would be hilarious is if we actually tweeted out a picture of the wrong Yap Stam as well as like Cincinnati did.
That would be very on par.
Oh God! I just said Jonathan Woodgate.
No.
A poor man Southgate, and that's saying something.
I was gonna say Southgate's already a poor man.
But otherwise, there's not really anyone.
He's the poor man's Phil Neville.
Oh, geez, don't Tom with that brush.
I don't want that. We can bring Gary Neville and his amazing track with Valencia.
Yeah, that one club he's managed.
He was I remember whenever like ex-players talk with him, and he's always like, "Do you wish you got into coaching?" And he's like, "Well, I saw you at Valencia and decided I never wanted to do that."
That was amazing. I remember I've seen that clip. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Tony Adams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's where is right, you click onto him and an advert for prostate exams comes up. What an advert.
Let's definitely get him.
Yeah. Right. Stats by coach. And that's people who've coached him. Why are there's coaching stats on there? He's been at Real Zaragoza. Or Real Zaragoza, as some people like to say. Anyway, so there's a lot of people out there. We don't really know who. Just not anyone that's like Hernan Lozada. It's not Bielsa or Yapstam. Last question that came in. Will I be attending the 2023 AllStar game?
Will you, James?
I would love to.
I'll be there if you are.
Ooh!
Oh!
Come on, guys! 2 years in a row.
Hang on. I mean, my dream is to come out every year.
Same.
Yeah. No, I'd love to bring Adrian out there and have her meet my people, see me in my element. That would be pretty incredible.
Vulnerable.
I'm just going on Virgin Atlantic's. Let's just see.
Eating all the Sammys at the Screaming Eagle tailgate. That's yeah.
I didn't eat any of those, but I did go to the Point, which is like down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Right.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips. What a proper lunch that is.
It was actually a good fish and chips too. Like you usually don't get that in DC.
Did you have mushy peas?
No, that was the only thing I missed. But we did have fat chips, and they did give me malt vinegar.
I mean, if you've not got mushy peas, and
I believe they do mushy peas at the Queen Vic.
I mean,
over on H Street.
You'd want mushy peas from a place like the Queen Vic. Yeah. You'd expect that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I can't quite go that far ahead in advance for flights, but the furthest I can go is mid-May. So I'm just going to see what it.
Just a while.
Yeah, I mean, prices about 800 quid round trip.
That's not bad.
It's about the same price as what I paid for. Yeah, similar sort of price as what I paid this time.
You should just, if the moment comes available, you should just buy it immediately.
I'm stroking my face.
Yeah.
I don't have a beard anymore.
Just stroke some skin. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see whether I'll be there or not. Hopefully we'll have some home games around there as well, so you can go to that as well. Cool. That's the end of the questions. Daniel, how was your wedding?
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. I don't want to go on for a long time about it, but I could. But man, it was a heck of a weekend. Adrian was stunning. It was just a beautiful venue. For those who didn't see my tweet, I got married in a theater, like a stage theater, and it was wild. Like we had our name up on the giant sign out front, and then up on the marquee as well. You got it. So the way it went is that you got in. And everyone kind of mingled and hung out inside sort of the entryway foyer or whatever. And then eventually we're ushered into the theater seating. And then the wedding took place up on the stage. So we had we had the curtain closed. We had a wooden cross that Adrian's father made up on the stage. There was so much to it. It was kind of funny. We just it was just very quick. There wasn't a ton to it in terms of the mass part of it or the worship part. It was really just kind of hitting all the spots, and then it was about as perfect as you could get it. The only part that went mildly wrong for us was that our Unity candles went out, or the candles that you use to light the Unity candle went out Adrian's friend is singing Adele over in the corner, and then we are trying to light these candles, and the wicks aren't long enough. The wax has actually pooled around the wick.
Oh, wow.
And the wax doesn't go down fast enough so that they won't stay lit. So where instead of lighting it with these two candles, Adrian and I take this tiny lighter, like hand in hand, and then we just lit the candle with that. So
Amazing.
this comical thing. So like the people who shot the wedding, like they kind of kept it on the girl who was singing the song, and then you can see Adrian's sister, who was her bridesmaid, was like kind of like laughing and sort of mildly freaking out about what was going on in that scene. But the wedding itself went fantastic. Adrian and I forgot to say I do, so like the blessings being said, and Adrian and I are just kind of like in this moment together, and then our pastor is kind of like, this is the part, and we're like, we do. So and then it went from there. It went from there. Everything went beautifully. We both wrote our own vows, and that went off really, really well. But then, so then after the wedding was done, we all march out, and Adrian and I got in a 54 Ford Thunderbird convertible. Ooh. And we rode around sort of Main Street for a while. And then when we came back, everyone was kind of like in this bar area, and we both had like signature drinks. So like mine was an old fashioned. Adrian, I forget the name of the drink. It was kind of like it was like a Moscato with peach schnapps type of thing. And everyone kind of hung out. But so like the cool part is as everyone was outside the theater, they eventually went back for the dinner. And so then the stage gets opened up, and we had all the tables set up. So then everyone went and sat, and Adrian and I followed shortly after. And I hadn't been like crying. I hadn't cried or teared up much, like sort of in the lead up or during the wedding itself. But like once I actually got up to the head table and like saw the whole situation, like I lost it in kind of the best way. But like I was hysterical for about 2 to 5 minutes, just losing it. So that was just really nice. After dinner, tables got cleared out. We had our dance, and then Adrian and I were out at like 11 because we were so tired. Because it was the lead up. It was Thursday. We had to make this big Costco run for a lot of the finishing touches with like food and drinks and whatnot. And then Friday was the actual setup, and then Saturday was the wedding itself. And it was like a lot, but it was just so much fun. And man, coolest wedding. Like everything went just so well. And then got that bad boy.
Boom.
So DC United Black, and I am a real mister now. So I'm excited. So then like a day or two later, this big storm rolls in, and then Adrian and I had to stop flooding. So like literally, it was like the day after, we had to spend about a half hour in our basement chasing leaks with our buck, because we have this unfinished basement. So like we're chasing these leaks around, and we're kind of like replacing buckets here and there and whatnot. And then like, in a sort of a moment, we kind of look at each other and we're like, marriage. So it was just cool, and just so much fun. I could go on about it, but that was sort of the big hits of it, and man, best day, really.
That's very, very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, let's wrap things up because we need to do the reveal of Guess DC Who. So there he is, back up on screen there.
I had no one. I had nothing.
No, nothing.
No,
So,
I mean, I should have just cheated, but yeah,
I would have known.
I crawled into my mind palace for a little bit, trying to remember my old FIFA rosters.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his first name, but I think I have the last name.
Well, what's the last name?
Is it Corb?
It is.
Ah!
It's Chris Corb.
nice.
The left back.
Because it was between it was like Kemp has always been but like looking back, like Corb, I was like, that's gotta be the other guy, so that just came to me. And
Chris Corb.
Wow, that's a name
he is now
I haven't heard in a long time.
He is currently coaching youth soccer in McLean, Virginia.
Good for him.
Yeah. So there you go. And he's has one trophy to his name. The US Open Cup.
That's right. From that ill-fated 2013 season.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Which,
woof.
At this rate, this year could be worse. Just saying.
At least we don't have slow Dwayne De Rosario. I think he brought the watchability down at least like 5 points that season. I don't know what was with him, but like he went from like being a really great player, and then like I don't know, that season whatever was going on, he was just like completely unwatchable.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, if we do finish bottom, you know what the upside is? We get top picks in Super Draft.
True. I'll take it.
Tom's thinking, Super Draft picks.
Yeah, I don't want
you know what they're good. You know what they're good for though. Garber books.
Bargaining chips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Garber books. That's what they're good for. So, but you never know. We've got the MLS AllStar game. We might get a roof now.
Doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it. But you never know. There's no an actual reason to get it one.
Still doubt it.
Yeah, still doubt it. Yeah. Anyway, it is the end of Ye Olde Show. So, Daniel, where can the good folks out there find you?
For me at Professor DCUK. Yeah, I'm here. I definitely got off for a while because of the wedding, but I'm back. I'm doing it. So find me there on Twitter. Instagram, not so much. I work as a social media manager, and so I have to just like pick one for my off time. Otherwise, I'm gonna lose my mind. So yeah.
That's fair. Tom?
You can find me on Twitter at DCUK Unfiltered. I have also been slacking a little bit, so I need to rev it up a bit more. But it's just last game killed me, and I just had nothing to say. So hopefully we have a good result this weekend, and back on with all the slammers.
If anything, join the DC UK supporter group, because if anything, if I'm not tweeting, I'm usually throwing in a couple cents here and there over in the group chat. So that's the place where you can find me most of the time.
Yeah, and as you can see, a lot. If you're watching, it's down at the ticker thing going through at the bottom there. DCUnitedKingdom.com/membership. Just head over there and come and join us. But also, please subscribe and like this particular video, or if you're listening to the podcast, just subscribe to the podcast. That always helps. And leave us a little rating and a review, because again, that always helps. We've had some good reviews recently, and it'll always be good just to keep those tickling along. trickle them
Especially
through.
our Swedish contingent.
I know.
who are
I forgot
coming
about
in.
that.
That's great.
I was just like, I had the email come through to say that we hit like the top 50 in Sweden for football podcasts. I'm like,
It's really weird.
what? Why
I
is
think
Latan listening to me?
I don't think we've like had any mention of Sweden this season.
No.
I don't
Actually
think we
not.
have. But we
Do we
love
need
that.
to-
Yeah.
We need to reach out to some people at Malmo and like
AIK
do a
and
little-
Jugardens and
Be like, do you know we're bigger than you got?
probably got more
Us?
followers. But yeah, I thought that just really just threw me, that one, seeing that we're big in Sweden,
Cool.
up the Scandinavians.
Yes.
So come and subscribe, come and join us at DC UK, and enjoy all the fun that goes along with it, because it is a pretty awesome time. So that is pretty much it. It's time really to roll the VT for the outro. And as we always Daniel, do you want to give a little shout out?
Adrian